Will Robinson here from Robinsonsauto, toolsandtime.com. Welcome back. I'm going to be getting a little off track on this video from what you're used to seeing me do. I've been getting a lot of requests for this one to tell a little bit about myself, how I got started, and things of that nature. I was a little hesitant on making this video at first, and once I start getting into it, you'll see why. But it's a very sad story for me, to say the least. However, it's something that probably should be told, so I'm going to share it with you. Okay, where should I start? And I remember some of these moments like it was yesterday. I was just a little kid, not even old enough to go to school. And back in them days, it was no big deal to take your kids to work. So my father would do just that. And he was a ASC master technician for a GM dealership in Newburgh Auto Park. However, he used to bring us with him. Me and my brother sometimes, or just me alone. But some of the best memories were with my brother, wandering around through the dealership, hanging outside, going into the showroom and seeing the new cars, or just going to watch my father work in the shop. I guess you could say that's where it all started. I'm going to breeze through this and try to cover all these years, in like a half-hour video. So I hope you understand. Well, from there, my father chased a dream, just like many of us do. Pretty much just like what I'm doing now, and what some wish they had done. And he started his own business, along with a partner. And the shop was called J&H Automotive. It was located in Worsboro, New York, 209 in the corner of Sullivan Street. They turned that little two-bay garage into a pretty successful business. That's where I grew up, and you can say I grew with the business. They specialized in transmissions and engine rebuilds, along with all your other basic necessities like wheel alignments and things of that nature. Then it also grew into a towing and recovery service. At one time we had 2 little wreckers, international rollback, and a heavy-duty Kenworth for towing the big rigs. We're doing pretty good, to say the least. Well, from there, fast forward a few years, and I'm out of high school, working there full-time. By this time, most of our clientele watched me grow up from a little kid to the technician I became. And I had people 2 times, 3 times my age coming and recommending me to fix their cars. And that was a great feeling and something I'll never forget. And one thing no one could ever take away from me. So I'm very grateful for those memories. We were growing. The business was doing well. It had its moments. It became like a relationship. It had its ups and downs. You know what I mean? It was a hate-love situation. One moment you loved what you were doing. The next moment you hated it. And it comes with the territory, Things are getting harder to work on. More equipment to learn. More schooling. We had front end alignment machine, 100 D111, top of the line at the time. And all the analysis equipment, scopes, you name it. We were doing it all. The towing and recovery business was growing as well. And along with all that growth and getting in the business to the point to where it was at, came a lot of stress, a lot of work, a lot of money, and the tension was just building between my father and his partner, to the point where they could no longer get along. It was a constant argument. Something was always, they were always bickering. From the outside it looked great, but from the inside the partnership was crumbling. There was no fixing it. So they ended up splitting their ties. Then out of that transition came Robinson and Sons Automotive. That was a great feeling, seeing those new signs go up, the new lettering on the wreckers. We were going to make it happen, and we were determined to keep that business alive. And we were doing it, and we did it. We had to downsize a little bit. We were down to 2 wreckers at that point. It was a Ford Super Duty and the heavy duty Kenworth. But that was okay. We were keeping our doors open. It was mainly me and my brother in the shop, and there was times we'd have to work around the clock to make sure the bills were paid. And there was times that we went pretty much without a paycheck to make sure the bills were paid. And I'm going to fast forward when it came time to renew the lease. Sure, there was times when we'd be set back and we'd have to call the landlord and ask him for a little grace period, but for the most part we always made good, and we always pulled through. However, this year, when the lease was up, my father came back and he said, "It don't look like we'll be renewing our lease this year. Someone's made him an offer and there's no way we can match it." I said, "You gotta be kidding me, what did he say?" He said, "Well, they pretty much told me if we can match it, it's ours, or if we come close to matching it, it's ours, but there's no way. The shop's just not worth that much." To me, it was worth more than any dollar you could put on it. However, to them, the price tag meant a lot more. So, we had no choice. We had to let it go. And that was the end of the road for Robinson and Sons Automotive. And it was a prime location. Everybody wanted it. But they didn't open it back up as a repair shop. They came in, tore it down, and now it's a Stewart's. But they probably never realized that there was part of me still left in there. And a part of me will always be there. And that's what drives me to do what I do. Is I hope that someday I could give my kids what I had. From there, I worked at a few more garages. First place I worked was Crosstown Collision. It was a friend of the family's. I was the main auto tech, and I also helped out in the body shop when they needed me. And I learned a lot of that trade from there. Then we had an opportunity to run a garage to help get a guy started up in Mongat Valley, a shop called the Valley Loop, owned by 7X Motors. They just built this new place and they needed help getting it off the ground, so me and my father went in there and we got it going. My brother even came in for a little bit to help out. And to be honest with you, that was the last time I worked with him. I haven't seen my brother in over 10 years. It's pretty sad, ain't it? And then we moved on and started doing some other odds and ends. We were doing pretty well, doing side work, you know. We still held on to a lot of clientele. So we had plenty of work to keep us busy. So I was racing. Started racing 358 modified. We were doing pretty well again. You know, finally getting out of that rut. And that's when I met my wife. And that's a whole nother story on its own. However, she was from Pennsylvania. And that's the best thing that ever happened. It's funny how life throws you these curveballs, and I knew I had to do something different. So I decided to make the move to PA. That required me to leave my family and friends behind and start a family of my own. Put in a total of 3 applications, I think. One was at a repair shop. Another one was at a towing and recovery. And one at a factory. And they're all paying right around the same wages. They all call me back. I went back to all of them for a second interview, and they all wanted to hire me. The towing and recovery place actually wanted to get me my own truck for heavy duty towing. They were in the process of buying a new truck, and they wanted to make me the driver. However, after weighing the options and seeing that they weren't paying much more than the factory job, I decided, you know what, maybe I'll try something different, and I don't have to be on the road anymore, and I don't have to have that pager and cell phone on the side of me 24/7. And the garage was also calling me, wanting me to go work for them. But ultimately, I made the choice to start at this factory, try something new, try something different. And I've been there since. And I'm an industrial mechanic. Been there for 8 years now. And I tell you, I learned a whole new trade, and the friends and everything that came along with it is priceless. I no longer just work with 12 volts, I work with 480 volts on a daily basis. And I gotta admit, I love my job. It's a great place to work, and I got a lot of awesome friends, and it's a nice place to go to. And I do this on the side. And in that time, working in the factory, I built my own clientele. And to the point where I needed a little shop on the side, and that's where we're at. I got this little 2-bay garage. It's an oversized 2-bay garage. I could work on 2 cars comfortably and still have my motorcycle and stuff. And toolboxes and benches, and so it's more than enough room for just me. No lift. However, I do what I gotta do, and I stay pretty busy. And that's where we're at. I just want to take a minute and bring you over here to my toolbox. I'm sure you guys have seen this in previous videos. However, there's a story behind this box. This is one of the few things that I have left from those memories. And there's a lot of memories here. My brother actually purchased it brand new and couldn't keep up with the payments, so I took it over for him. And this happened right before we closed up the shop in Worksboro, Robinsonsauto. And I had it ever since. And I moved it along with me, and it's been on a lot of journeys with me. And now it's here with us. And making new memories. If you come over here, you can probably see some old calendar. I don't know how good the light is back there, but that one's from 1999. And over here I got a couple more hidden on this side. You see there's a Mac one. That's 1998. That's the oldest one on there. 95, May of 95. That's probably when the toolbox was brand new. That's probably one of the first things put on it. And that one I know for a fact my brother put on. Now you can probably see why I was a little hesitant on making this video. However, I was getting so many requests for it, I thought, you know what, I'll be more than happy to share it with you. It's just a sad story for me, and it's hard for me to go back on those times without choking up, so I apologize for that, but I'm sure you understand. It's getting better. Times are changing. Now I got you guys, and that's, if you would have told me a year ago that I would have been posting videos on YouTube, I would have probably looked at you like you were crazy. If you would have told me I would have over 1,500 subscribers, I would have thought you were nuts. That's like 1,499 more subscribers than I ever thought I'd have. So, I gotta thank you guys. And while we're on that subject, there's a few more people I would like to thank. One would be Eric the Car Guy. Dwayne from Real Fixes Real Fast. What an inspiration that guy is too. He reminds me a lot of my dad. And Brian from Brian's Mobile, all these guys. Can't quite remember the order that I found them through. The point I'm trying to make is that those guys were my main inspiration to starting this channel. So if it wasn't for them, and for all this experience that I went through in my life, there would be no Robinson's Auto channel. And it's not quite a year old yet. It's getting there. I'm starting to see some money coming in from the website and the YouTube channel. And I want to invest that back into you guys. So like I said, I'm far from being rich, but I have a full-time job. It pays my bills. And as long as the videos are paying enough to pay for my website and help out a little bit, and so I can invest it back into you in video equipment, that's my main goal, is to keep on investing in you guys. That's why I started this, is to help others. Because I thought it was a great thing those guys were doing, and I felt like I had a lot of things I could share as well. So I'm more than happy to bring it to you. So with that being said, I want to find a way to say thank you to you guys. So I can't buy something for every one of you, so I'll have to do kind of a contest, giveaway type deal, where you'll have to be subscribed and all. I'm going to be making a follow-up video with the details, but I wanted to try to think of something that, like, if I got it, I would use. And I haven't had time to go through my toolbox with you guys. I'm going to be making a video. That's another request I get often. But that one will be coming up shortly. I started making one, actually. I just got to edit it. But some of my favorite tools are Snap-on. And when you think of the best quality tools out there, one of the biggest names that come to your mind will probably be Snap-on. And there's a reason for it. Because their tools they're comfortable, they're built for the mechanic, and they were built around automotive. So when you hear Snap-on, you think of automotive repair and specialty tools. So since I have a channel on automotive repair, I thought maybe I'll get you something Snap-on related. And I did. Some of my favorite sockets are semi-deep. I got a couple reasons behind it. Because a lot of times the shallows aren't quite deep enough, or the deeps are just too long. So the happy medium is a semi-deep socket, and it's come to be one of my sockets of choice. But there's something I would use and be happy with if I won something in a contest or anything automotive related. It'd be a good set of Snap-on sockets. Couldn't start off real big because, like I said, I just started getting some revenue back. So what I did, I picked up a set of sockets. And yes, they are Snap-on. It's the 1/4 inch drive set. That set right there was just under 200 bucks. And it goes from 5mm up to 15, 6-point, semi-deep, 1/4 inch drive. I figured that'd be a great start, and something somebody will be proud of if they win that in a giveaway. So I'll be posting the details, and look forward to seeing that video, probably coming up this weekend. And I just got to do some research and see how all that works, and find a fair way to pick the winner. So pretty much that's my story in a nutshell. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you continue enjoying, and I look forward to sharing some great videos with you. Thanks for watching. Will Robinson for Robinson's Auto, toolsofthetime.com. Have a good one, guys. Stay tuned.